feelings of discomfort.
Right, okay, so if he's such a bastard and his doings are so horrible and that just will radiate up through.
That means it's back there, and then it's up there where the dread feeling is and where we were warned about that floor.
Yep.
And you're right, that could be based right there, but whatever trauma or anything happened there may just.
We have the rare opportunity no one else gets. We need to take it.
There's definitely something about this place.
I felt it the moment I got here. There's a ton of energy.
Both times we've been here, I've noticed that the energy with the waterfall, everything surrounding here feeds the entities, but not always in a good way.
I wonder what we can do to change that.
Right. Hello.
What's going on?
How are you?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
Hey, nice to meet you, Bianca.
This is Bianca.
Corey. Nice to meet you.
She has a little bit more knowledge than I do on some of these things, so we're going to work off each other.
My name is Bianca Pastrana. My purpose here is to have a healing arts practice in which I help other people connect into their extra-dimensional or interdimensional aspects of self. I'm positive that I can bring some interesting tools and some interesting ideas to tonight's investigation.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Bianca and I showed up early so I could walk her through with Corey and we could go through the hot spots and talk about, you know, where we've experienced stuff. She will be a big help since this place is known to have portals and we aren't just dealing with what we think are human entities on the other side. She's going to have a lot of influence on how we get our answers tonight.
So basically, down here, Ty has thought he's seen the crawling man a couple feet in front of us. I had an experience with a mass. Ashley thought she saw a bald man, which I'll never forget that either. I think we were walking right behind her, and I mean, it stopped her right in her tracks. You want to touch on anything? What have you seen down here?
Besides soccer balls getting moved around and stuff like that, I had an incident a few months ago in the furnace room where I had something actually audibly tell me to get out.
We also had that fire alarm.
Yes.
Which I will touch on that real quick. Right before that went off, I felt like something was, right on my neck to intimidate me. And I put my fingertips, I'll never forget this, my fingertips on the side of the chair just to scoot over to you guys. And in that process is when it went off. And I was like, oh my God. So that feeling was really validated to me that, we weren't alone in that second. So not to freak anyone out, but the worst part's over there.
We're coming back here because every time we come here, it's not always the same thing. Sometimes we get the same stuff. We definitely get knocking and footsteps, but we're always leaving with more questions than answers. And tonight, we're gonna leave with answers.
We're in the catacombs that are filled with spiders, and I'll just clear the way happily. Yeah, it's nice and cozy down here.
This is a super potent area, and it sounds like it's been becoming more and more active. I think that it expands beyond the GRCC, and I'm wondering why this is such a focal point.
We are down the catacombs, as you know, and this is a part that we joke around, we call the lair, where it lives.
There's definitely a heavier vibration. There's something in here that's not letting us know that it's completely here because there's too many people in the room, so it'll be interesting later on to see how and if it comes out, how it shows up.
I was thinking we could put our experiences and your experiences down on a blueprint tonight, so we can have like a visual of everything on a map. What do you think?
It's a great idea.
That would be awesome.
Right.
I think that's going to be
Makes it
amazing.
a lot easier.
Yeah.
We are going to use blueprints of the GRCC tonight. The team showed up and we started to map out where the experiences have happened for us on each floor.
Hey guys. Basically, I need your help. We have blueprints of the GRCC right here. I was thinking we could basically mark down, brainstorm where everything has happened, and get like a big picture of it.
Cool.
Kind of just see
I love
the
this
big
idea.
picture.
Pull it up.
Obviously, there's some big gym things.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, we have the catwalk up here. Do we want to mark the footsteps we hear on the actual catwalk?
Absolutely.
They often originate from that corner, which is this.
so when we were here with the Newkirks, the biggest moment for me was like when we were in the middle and I did the knock thing.
And they knock back.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
And so the catwalks.
You've seen, this stuff has been seen on the catwalk.
So Magician's been seen here, but you've seen him someplace else
Yes,
too.
I've also seen him there, which
Where?
is
There?
that doorway at
This
the far
way.
corner.
Okay.
One of the original things that you told us when we were here the first time that I always remember is that staircase right there. You told us to hold on to the railings in this building because someone from your team had been pushed.
Yes.
So that would be a green.
Yeah.
So that gymnastics area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trampoline room.
Right
Most
here.
of that, what has happened with that area has happened off camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
We used the Frank box and we started in this room and got Anne.
Right, because we did do a Frank's box down there.
That's because it said Anne in the corner over here.
Yep, over here.
Let's move to the basement now.
Well, this is the room that you guys saw the bald man.
Okay.
Correct? You guys were down inside the catacombs?
Yep. And where we were hearing things come down the stairs in the basement.
So like there's a ton going on in the basement. I think we knew that, but what we didn't really realize was that it's clumping up into sections.
Yeah.
So a really good point that we've now known is that everything seems to come out of the dark room, which we don't go in.
Right.
Like
Except for that first time with you, Nick, and I, and Ashley. We went into the dark room, hearing stuff about Anne.
Right, on all of these arrows, like there's stuff exiting that room, the fire alarm was right there, so that thing had to pull it there. It seems like
Manually.
it could be an epicenter. So yeah, I think we should talk about the crawling man because he's building,
We're seeing him more.
yeah, he's not stationary.
He's not confined, yeah.
So as we talk about him, we should probably just, I'm gonna jump real quick to
Yeah.
right to where I saw him.
Yep.
Okay.
I know, it is helpful to
So we come
think
down the
about
staircase,
maybe
we're
him at one
sitting right
space,
here. Nick was right here. I saw the crawler pass
Oh, yes.
this way.
I just drew a path the first time I saw the crawling thing come out of the
So it came
fire
out-
alarm room and go into the boiler room.
So we both saw it come out of the same room, and we've never had that discussion before.
Oh,
Because this
you're
is
right.
my path right
That's
here.
what you saw too?
Yeah. It comes out of
Interesting.
aptly named the dark room. This is already an insane exercise. Like, it's blowing my mind because we've been here a bunch of times as on camera and off camera, as I've listed.
Yeah.
We've never made the same parallels as we have right now, writing it on paper
I know.
and having these discussions that it's clumping in the areas.
But also, how does that line up?
So Crawler came this way to the stairs and went up. So he would have popped up.
He popped up here. He popped up through that first doorway. And he, yep.
What if there's like windows or elevators or something that are like that
Yeah.
correlate to the stairs and don't correlate to doorways?
They just started
I don't
falling
think he
over
needs
there.
to use the stairs. So
No.
yeah.
Well, like what Katie was saying earlier, where those footsteps were generating, where
Right.
the star is,
Yeah.
that's where we think that vortex is, over
Right.
here in the corner.
So like, does that
So it's,
happen
like,
all
straight
the
up
way
and down.
through the building?
Because if I'm not mistaken, if you lay them on top of each other, you're looking like
Where are we-
this.
Here,
the
can we
dark
do that?
room. If I'm not mistaken, this is the way it sits. Would be
Okay.
just like this.
So the catacombs would line up
Yeah.
with the star of the portal. This is why we.
Bianca.
There we go. So the blueprint just worked out for us.
In my head, I pictured it like a tube. So we have these pockets, but then when you take the blueprints and put them over each other, you notice that one pocket is kind of looming over another one on a different floor.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
What if we pick one spot that coordinates, probably that area or above the trampoline room, and we split into 3 groups and do
Yeah.
One in
something?
each floor.
One area.
In the same.
same
vertical area.
Oh my God! Yes.
Carol's
yes,
blueprint idea
yes.
was great. I really enjoyed being able to put them together and work with her. And then when we got the whole team together to really assess what was going on in this place, I think it's going to help us make a difference in our investigation techniques. And I think it'll bring us a little bit further and a little bit closer to the answers we're looking for. I mean, as much as we haven't had a lot of evidence in the catacombs, we've had some really weird stuff. So when the Newkirks went in with their objects, they were like, we were trying to figure out what it said. It said, why are they here? And it said, feed them.
Feed them. Right.
So it's really, it brings up the question of like, if we were to put energy down there, what would we get back?
Maybe that's an opportunity to feed them?
Are we trying to feed them?
Let's
We
feed
can-
them.
I don't know. It's season 6.
Conclusion, we got 8.
I can play the bowls down there.
You can play the bowls down there.
Yes.
Using my Tibetan singing bowls and using my voice, that hopefully will draw out some of the creatures and some of the beings that are said to be in the space.
We want to try to stimulate the vortex with Bianca's singing bowls. We have some unanswered questions with Anne, and so I feel like if we are able to positively gain trust with her, that maybe it'll be easier for her to come forward.
All right, guys, let's kick off the last time at the GRCC.
It's a lot of pressure.
That created a whole new game plan for us to come in tonight, especially using Bianca's talents to open up that spire and really pull a lot of the energy out of it and see what might be possible in this place. Push it to its max tonight by blueprinting and figuring out where the hotspots are, and then using that max to get the evidence that we need to close the book on the GRCC.
When we return to a place, we use our previous rating as our pre-rate. Our previous rating was 8.25, and that will be our pre-rate tonight.
Well, I am Carol, and I welcome you to join us. I've brought Bianca here, and she has some things that I don't think you've been introduced to before. What we're trying to do is we're trying to amplify the energy in here. We're also here to find some answers tonight. So please feel free to join us.
We thought about putting each one of us in way of the vortex because of the mapping. As we noticed that a lot of things line up from floor to floor. What happens when we put our bodies in that energy where all of that evidence was actually happening?
My name is Bianca, and I am so excited to be here and possibly chat with anybody who wants to chat with us tonight. These bowls, you probably are curious about them. They each make a different tone, and I'm hoping that maybe one of the tones is really inviting for you, and that you might like to come and sit and listen and talk with us. The other thing is that if you want to strike the bowls yourself, you can come over and actually strike them, just like this. If you want to try and make them make noise, you're welcome to do that. And that would be super fun way for us to communicate with you. And I'm also going to try singing a little bit to you. So I'm going to start by just kind of playing the bowl a little bit.
So I pulled 2 Ogham sticks.
What'd you get?
I got Heather and Holly. I am excited to bring something new to the table. Ty has been working with runes. I found almost like a sister divination system to that called Ogham sticks. They are derived from the woods of sacred sites in England. They each represent different meanings symbolized with a Ogham alphabet letters. Heather is about love, And holly can represent a number of things. The holly king and the switch from summer to fall. I feel so dizzy right now.
You're dizzy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a crazy headache. I wonder if we're not super meant to sit in this vortex. It almost acted like a plug to a drain. It was almost like nothing could come in or out of that vortex anymore. And we were stuck with whoever we had in the room already. All right, here we go. Next card. The Emperor.
Oh, it also kind of coordinates with the holly pole because it's a high king.
Interesting. So I guess that would be the same as our magician, right?
I would say.
What does the magician, the emperor, the holly king need from us to feel safe? Diplomacy and kindness is what I got. Okay? We're all here out of kindness because we keep coming back here so interested in your space because it's super special. And that's the only reason that we come with all of the things that we do. Why I bring you gifts. Because you're really special. I'm glad that you agree. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so my name is Ty. What's your name? What have people called you in the past?
I asked whatever was here, not what its name was, because it occurred to me that name sounded very terrestrial. And going into this, knowing that there are others here, and I've never heard anything like this come out of it.
Okay, so my name is Ty. What's your name? What have people called you in the past? What the f*** is that?
It was a multi-word phrase that it almost seemed like something overwhelmed my recorder's capability for sound.
Okay, I gotta show that to everyone. That is at, one more time. You in the past. 58 seconds. That gave me the chills.
Something else is here. I'm striking the bowls.
Let's develop a knocking system. So 1 knock for yes, 2 knocks for no. I remember from last time that you need to be fed. Does this building feed you? Where's my stomach? Does the river feed you? Cool. The river is really cool. Do you like when it rains? Cool. Do you have any questions, Anna?
Do you have any secrets about the GRCC that we don't know?
Cool.
I'm gonna mix up these sticks and pull one out. Hawthorn? Protection.
Do you protect the building? Do you protect the river?
Whoa.
She would pull a card and I would pull one of my Ogham sticks, and we found that they really coincided with one another and with the story here. Essentially, I think we connected with an elemental spirit of the river, which is kind of mind-blowing.
So how's it going?
I gotta.
Anna pulled a protection. What was the tree?
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn. And then we asked if it protects the GRCC, and we didn't get an answer. And we asked if it protects the river, and it knocked yes.
And I was getting images of being on the river.
Well, I'm gonna pass on this. It might not have anything to do with anything that you guys are talking about, but
That's fine.
I had a quick thought, which was, what if Anne is an acronym for something? Or what if her name is Anne, but
Look what we gotta figure out. Damn.
That's huge.
So if that's the case, what would that be? Would it be directly related to the crawling? What would we be looking for if we were looking for that?
Also, remember.
What if it is the Androscoggin and we're talking about a river? What if we're talking about a river protector?
We're talking about the river the whole time.
And we're talking about that duality of like nature versus what is being poisoned in the. I feel bad saying that, but I mean, reality is like with the factory, they're chemicals and poisoning the river.
The river is super polluted.
Yeah, what did you say? It's like in the top 10 most polluted in the.
It's in the top 20% of polluted.
So the first time we were here 4 years ago, Ashley said, "Save Anne."
Save the river.
What the?
I did not expect everything to start pointing towards the river, even down to, for 4 years we've been thinking, save Anne. Okay, we'll save her. We're gonna save Anne. It's Androscoggin. I know it is. Save Androscoggin.
We should probably take those two themes of like what here wants protection and what here does not want us to be protected.
I feel like the not protected group is the basement.
I agree. River group should be here.
River group should be here.
And
Do we
then-
want to switch? Do we want?
I feel like I'm supposed to be up here.
Okay. And we'll follow
Crawling man.
crawling.
All right.
I feel scared.
Okay.
What is this teepee?
So the basement has always been a frustrating portion of this building because we've gotten so many different answers, different responses or lack of response.
Right.
It doesn't always feel, we hear stuff even when it's not showing us that we're hearing stuff. I've noticed. They're shaking.
Can you touch my hand? What is your name? Do you know Anne?
What do you last remember? Do you need anything from us?
What is that?
Do we?
Are you on the ceiling? Did you hear that? Was that Nick?
No, that was on the ceiling.
Why do you crawl on the ceiling?
Do you remember Ash? I think she called you the bald man. Did that piss you off? Oh my God, it's above you. How do you feel about us being in this room?
Are you alone?
The bald man is not connected to the river. It's totally something else. It's not super interested in entertaining us, speaking with us when we want it to speak with us. It's sort of just on its own terms. And it's a shapeshifter. Carol's blob, every person who's ever felt the looming presence over them in the basement seems that it's the same creature. Can it present itself as a crawling thing? I think yes. Is it the same thing? I'm not totally sure because it's a shapeshifter. It can present itself as anything. Upstairs, our friends are talking about the river. Do you feed off of the river?
A car.
I don't know. Do we hear cars down here?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna ask more. Is the river Anne? I shit you not, I heard yes. Like, with my actual ears.
Was it recording?
It came from right there, and it was a whisper. Yes.
Can you say that louder for us?
Is the river Anne? We can help clean the river. We can help save the river. Is that what you want? mean, I know that's not our goal down here, but
Maybe it is. Maybe it's just the only goal.
maybe it's the only goal. Is the river the only goal?
We would like to help the river. How does that make you feel?
Again, it's responding to this.
Can you give us a knock? Give us one knock if we're supposed to help you by convening in the gym. 2 knocks if we're supposed to go to the basement, and 3 knocks if we're supposed to be on the 2nd floor in the trampoline room.
Yeah. Two.
2. 3. Trampoline room.
That's obscure.
I thought
4. I was just going to ask
The
if
river for 4?
Yeah. The questions sort of got led into this river spirit. And if those spirits are somehow extracted from their environment, the environment gets sick. We have the opportunity to potentially free this being.
Hello. Hola.
Hi, guys.
We brought up the river because we were kind of
We were
getting
at a
nothing.
standstill, yeah.
And that's when stuff happened for us.
Yeah.
I feel like what needs to happen is we need to free the river spirit. It's going to open a door that's going to help the river heal itself, and it's going to help set some things in motion.
I think we came here tonight to find answers, and for at least part of this place, that is a mega check mark that we just did, but we still have another one that I think we should get into before too late so we can make it to the river, and that's figuring out what the grumpy stuff around here could be too. Because of where we are and because of your relationship with Billy, who was here last year, I've asked the Newkirks for permission to do something a little bit weirder with the Estes method.
Last time that we were here in the GRCC, we were with the Newkirks. The Newkirks brought Billy the Idol, who seemed to almost work as a transition device for us to reach over the other side and make contact. So I asked the Newkirks permission to do an Estes method with Carol, but with the added benefit of imbuing Billy's symbol on her forehead as well, and hopefully effectually turning her into a translator.
Take it, put them where they feel comfortable. Can you hear me? Perfect. So if there's anyone that can hear us in this entire building, again, we're here to get answers and we're doing different techniques to do this. This is something called the Estes method. You can use Carol as a mouthpiece. Do you understand?
All of it.
That's
close.
I would take that.
Yep.
I want to talk with the being that we've called the bald man. Can you go get that entity?
I do too.
We have some questions.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Entity that we've called the bald man, why are you still here? What is your purpose?
Somebody, I think it said somebody.
What's your purpose at the Greater Rumford Community Center? Because this is a place where children come to have fun. So we want to make sure the energy here is positive and a happy place for them to do that. Why are you still here and what do you need?
Kidding me?
Oh.
No, we're pretty serious.
No, this is really for human children to be here.
Right.
So if we're in
Right.
if we're in agreement, what do you need from this place that keeps you here?
Story time?
Are we talking to the crawling person?
Isn't coming. He isn't coming or she isn't coming. But is it coming?
Would you consider releasing your hold on this place and going somewhere else?
Fright.
You're afraid to let go?
It said right, twice.
Again.
So it's afraid to let go? I'm confused. It's dead. It's doing what it needs to do, but I'm not sure who we're talking to, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure who we're talking to
Up.
either. I kind of feel like we're being touched with a little bit.
Welcome to the GRCC.
Yeah.
Hi.
There you go.
Story of our life here. It's a puzzle that doesn't necessarily want to be solved.
Maybe it's a labyrinth. Maybe it doesn't need to be solved.
Maybe it doesn't need to be solved.
Right.
There you go. I feel like we also got a chunk of it tonight, which is more than
Yeah.
ever asked for.
I think that we have the most information that we've ever had.
Magician or bald man, you're confusing us. So we're gonna move on. If you want help, you need to let us know before we leave this room tonight. But right now, we would like to know if Anne, in any version of that, is here with us and can hear. Whoever Anne truly is. Androscoggin, can you hear us? As weird as that sounds.
It's not weird.
Nope.
It's what we should be asking.
Me.
It's what we should be talking about.
Are you Androscoggin?
Do you care for it? Do you feel like that?
I do.
Wow.
Do you need humans on your side to actually help you clean it?
You got that.
That's it.
I think
That's all it is. We just need to focus on the river. It's nothing
let's
else.
pull it out. I think the bald man magician is just going to
They can
continue.
it's just here.
It's just here.
It's just here.
I'm gonna pull her out.
Pull her out.
I know.
It's always going to be scary. There's no nice way to pull someone out of the S's method. It's always terrifying.
Good job, Carol.
Oh shit, I thought it was facing this way.
I want to say that I was empowered by having Billy's symbol on my forehead, but actually it was more of a connected feeling.
It was good to have that final information to really say, yeah, this is the direction we need to go in.
As mysterious as the GRCC has ever been, that hasn't changed. When we changed our line of questioning back to the river, we were getting the answers that we expected to get, and it was basically, go, just keep moving, finish this out.
Every conversation we had went right back to the river. And if we didn't direct the conversation back to the river, it went really stale.
We made promises to help. They wanted us to go out to the river, and so we are going to head out there, and we're going to see about this ceremony that is actually going to have a greater effect on the GRCC and on the Rumford community, and freeing the spirit. So everybody go ahead and connect your hands to each other and focus on the GRCC, focus on the structure, specifically holding the water spirit, the river spirit within it. Ya kosatien yawashatie, aragasutiem pukuntie, purrokotie shakanye. Aragatsatien yawasintie, bruakasutie au kukwanye. Ien yawasatie, ien yasukwati, aragahansi.
Our final experience at the GRCC was incredible. We're not quite entirely sure what Bianca had done at the river that night, but we definitely, all of us, felt a connection to the river. We briefly saw a window into a bigger picture in the paranormal world and possibly encountered the rare elemental that we've heard of. We don't believe the spirit Anne to be native to the GRCC itself, and therefore we don't feel the evidence that we encountered changes our perception of the spirits within the GRCC or its rating. We're giving it a final rating of 8.25. But we've uncovered a new adventure, and that's a calling that we've kind of all had together, but we're now finally taking a stand, and it's to clean up the realm we live in now.
Exploded styrofoam out here. Is it any good? Well, that's back the other way, or is it more upstairs?